Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room recap for Wednesday, August the 19th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. If you have any questions for me, you can use this email address. This is a link to get into our free room, 100% free. You do not have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our free trading room. The room is open Mondays to Fridays between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I share my screen and I'm live on the mic. In the email you're getting, you will see a promo code for 15% off, either the first month only or the entire year of a Trade Ideas subscription. Well, never a dull moment. Another interesting day. I'm going to show you my watch list, what it did, but I'm also going to show you this trade that I took in the pre-market. Starting to look at trades that, I guess we'll call them capitulation trades, trades that, or stocks that go way high, and then, looking for them to fall. So I saw this one in the pre-market, AESE. It's a gaming stock. I guess they had some news also, a lot of viewership on whatever game they had. Just 1 second, please. And so I looked at this and I decided to short this it was right at 215. It got just up to about 220, I think, and I shorted it at 215. And look at the drop it had, and I covered at 182. It kept going down, 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 unfortunately. But then look at this once the market opened. I mean, just a tremendous run for this stock. The interesting thing was that when I shorted it, there were shorts available. I use Interactive Brokers as my broker. There were shorts available. I didn't really see how many shorts there were available. I just shorted it, with what I wanted, and I got what I wanted. And then, I don't know, a little bit later on, I looked and there were no shorts available. And I think right now there were no shorts available for that one. So I got very lucky. But there were a few in the pre-market like that. I think TLGT was another one. TLGT, starting to warm up to the idea is like, look at this. There were no shorts available, unfortunately. I think the other one may have been, not maybe that one. This is halted right now, by the way. This is halted because of news. This crazy one, BDR, I mean, it's up to 340%, $2.59, 52 million shares, 4,000 times normal, and it's been halted. So, and it's been halted for a while on news. I do want to show you my watch list and what it did. Pretty good watch list today again. EVFM, I don't think has moved. Kind of waiting on this one, see if it can take out 350 again. I'd have this on my watch list if I were you, because take a look at it let's look at it on the monthly chart. Now, look at it on the weekly chart. See if this, look at this on the weekly chart. Look at all the room it's got. So I have an price alert set for, I think it's 360. That's the high that week. If it takes this out, and it may not happen today, and I always have to say it may never happen, but if it does, look at the room it's got to try to fill in this void, this gap. So it really hasn't done anything from that 350 alert. Let me get back to my 15-minute time frame. SDC, I added this one early. I saw the pop. I added it to my watch list in the pre-market. Don't really love this one. I was actually thinking it might turn into a short. They had a little bit of news saying they've hired this, I guess, a dentist. If you don't know about SDC, they have a mechanism that will straighten teeth. It's a little bit controversial, I guess. So anyway, they've hired this guy to basically try to educate dentists about their system. And it's, if you take a look at this one take a look at it on the monthly, because I think, this is when it actually IPO'd here. But Sync had a 1 month, not bad, trying to come back, but then, really has done not great things since the IPO. I mean, that day probably hit $21. So people who are in this, hopefully they're out at a stop loss, but if you're still hanging on, man, you're not happy. Let me just get back to a 15-minute chart. Now let's look at the good ones. So there's BDR. Now, 299. And it got up to 382, and then it came down, and now it's halted. But, from 299, 382, there's almost $1. This one, again, BE, it was pretty quick. There's the alert, 1817. There's the candle, and it got as high as 1861. Not bad. This one, VRCA, this was actually an AI alert yesterday. You can see it right there. There was an AI alert yesterday, 8:27. So if you had held it, it closed pretty well. If you had held it, it got up this morning all the way up to 10:19. So from that alert, there was the high 10:19. I'm sorry. Well, 988, and then it pulled back, and then it got it back up here. So even if it got up to 988 from 956, that's not terrible. This one, rather interesting. LMPX. This was another AI alert. I think it was yesterday. Sorry, guys, my chart's not loading. Here we go. Okay, so LMPX. This was an AI alert. Oh, maybe it was 2 days ago. Yeah, I think if I back this out, you'll see, yeah, it was 2 days ago. So there was the buy at 965 for LMPX. A little bit choppy, but again, depending on your trading style and your plan, if you've been able to hold it and then hold it for 2 days, I mean, it got up to 1486 from that original buy of 965. But from my alert, 1298, yeah, I mean, it got all the way up to 1488 or 86 before it pulled back. And Stitch Fix, I don't think has moved that much. Yeah, a little bit, 2536, and it got up to 2570. So not bad. So the watch list today performed, I think, very well. And that's about it, guys. I mean, I create my watch list every single day. And the original premise was for those of you who did not want to watch, you either new traders or just did not want to watch a lot of different stocks all day long. So I created the watch list so you could concentrate on a very small number of stocks all day long and trade around them. And, I think it's worked out very, very well. So you can always access my watch list from the channel bar. From the toolbar. Click on New. Whoops, click on New, and then Channel Bar, and then My Watch List. And remember, everything here is a layout. So before you do that, make sure you save your layout to the cloud. And but you can load. Oops. you can load this before the market opens. 9:15 or so, and then just follow along. Nothing will happen. I have a delay on this window. Nothing will happen until at least 9:45. That's the first alert that you'll get in this window. All right, everybody, I want to get back into the room, and so I'll close down my chart, bring back the capture program. So if you have any questions for me, here's the email address, the link for the free room, and I'll open the room tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. I hope